Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel Learning English with Hamid. I hope you like my channel and I hope you find it useful. So I'm sure you watched part 1 on noun. If you haven't watched part 1, please watch that first. Today we do part 2. Before we start, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. Okay, we continue with noun. So we know now that nouns can be countable or uncountable. If a noun is countable, so there are certain words that we can use before that noun. For example, we can use many before a countable noun, like there are many students in the class, for example, or there are a few students in the class, or there are a few students in class, or there is a student in class, or there is an orange in the fridge, for example. There is a difference between a few and few, and I'll talk about that sometime in a future video. Uncountable nouns, when we use an uncountable noun, so there are certain words we use with that. I'm sure you know that we use much with uncountable nouns. For example, there isn't much milk in the fridge, or there is some milk in the fridge. But we never use a or an with uncountable nouns. So we don't say there is a milk in the fridge, or there is an I can't think of an uncountable noun, but we don't use a or an with uncountable nouns. Yes, we use little or a little with uncountable nouns, but not a or an. So we might say there is little milk in the fridge, or there is a little milk in the fridge. Again, there is a difference between these two terms, and I'll explain them somewhere in a future video. Countable and uncountable words, nouns, both take a lot. So you can use the expression a lot with both countable and uncountable nouns. There is a lot of milk in the fridge and there are a lot of students, or there are a lot of boys in the ground, for example. We can also use there are plenty of students, there is plenty of milk, there are some students in the class, there is some milk in the fridge, for example. As I told you in my first video, it's not countable nouns which are problematic for those who are learning English as a second or foreign language, like students from Pakistan, learners from Pakistan or any other country whose first language is not English. It is uncountable nouns which make big trouble for learners. What do? We don't know that a particular noun is uncountable and we usually pluralize it. Or we put s at the end of that noun and we use it in the plural verb. We use a plural verb with that. But that's a mistake, and we should be careful about that. So some more uncountable nouns are money, safety, air, and work. These are some more uncountable nouns. So now we're going to discuss a very important point about uncountable nouns. So there are certain nouns which are uncountable, but what do we do when we talk about more than one of that kind? For example, I told you last time that advice is uncountable in English, but in Urdu or in our languages, advice is countable. So if I say, for example, कि उसने मुझे 2 नसीहतें की, मैं आपके वालिद साहब से मिला, उसने मुझे 2 नसीहतें की. So how would we say that in English? Because nasihat is uncountable in English. So if we say he gave me 2 advices, so 2 advices is wrong. Or for example, if I say मैंने 2 खबरें सुनी हैं, so khabre in Urdu is countable, but khabre, but in English, news is uncountable. So what should we do? Well, there are words that we must choose, and there are expressions, words that we must choose, which go with the noun or the substance you're talking about. What do I mean? Let me explain by giving you some examples. We use piece and bit as general words, and they're used with most uncountable nouns. So for example, you could say a piece of, like, I met your father and he gave me 2 pieces of advice. right? Instead of saying two advices, we say two pieces of advice. So this piece and bit, they're very general words. We use them with most uncountable nouns to express the idea of plurality. So wood in English is uncountable, but we might say, oh, see there are three pieces of wood on the ground, or a piece of string, or a piece of cake on the ground. So if it is one piece, we say a piece of. It's more than one, so we don't pluralize cake or string. We pluralize the word piece, pieces of string, pieces of cake, for example. So there were three pieces of wood on the ground. Yeah, the example sentence is there. Meat is uncountable, so a piece of meat, two pieces of meat. A piece of advice, two pieces of advice. Bread is uncountable, so one piece of bread, two pieces of bread. Several pieces of bread. A piece of cheese, so there is a, give me a piece of cheese, for example. A bit of paper, a bit of work, a bit of chocolate, a bit of luck. And if you remember, I'm sure you remember, we still, students still write application in, they write applications in school if they have some urgent piece of work. So you see, in that application, we write, kindly grant me leave, please grant me leave for one day because I have an urgent piece of work. So we say piece of work. We don't say I have a work. You could say that, of course, but that's wrong. So instead of saying a work, we say a piece of work in our applications in schools, colleges, and universities. Some more words. We say a slice. A slice of a slice is a thin, flat piece. Thin, flat piece. So we say a slice of bread, a slice of cake, a slice of salami, cheese, pie, apple. We also say a chunk. So a chunk is a thin, thick, solid piece. A chunk of meat, a chunk of pineapple. Fragment, we also say a fragment. So a fragment is a very small piece of something that is broken or damaged. So we say a fragment of glass or fragments of glass. So we don't say fragments of glasses, we just say two fragments of glass or a fragment of glass. Another word, a speck. A speck is a tiny piece of powder, so a speck of dust, dirt, a speck of light. And yes, the next word, drop, you know that. So water is uncountable, rain is uncountable, blood is uncountable, milk. So we don't say there are two waters, we say there are two drops, for example, or rain drops, or a drop of rain, or a drop of blood, or a drop of milk, for example. We use pinch for something that you can hold between your finger and thumb. So a pinch of salt, a pinch of powder. Portion is something which is enough for one person. So a portion of chicken, a portion of pizza, a portion of cake, for example. We also use the word bar, a bar of soap. So soap in English is uncountable. So if you say that I went to the market, I went shopping and I bought two soaps. No, we don't say two soaps. So we say a bar of soap because soap is uncountable. So a bar of soap, a bar of chocolate, a bar of candy, for example. A block. Block is used for ice. So you see different terms, different words are used with different uncountable nouns. So a block of ice, a block of stone, a block of wood, for example. A bolt of fabric, a roll of fabric, or a length of fabric. A loaf of bread. Loaf is like a big piece, or you can say complete bread. A loaf of bread. A roll of film, a roll of carpet. A slab of marble or concrete, a stick of gum, a bunch of bananas or a bunch of grapes, a bunch or bouquet of flowers. One thing you might ask, or maybe that you should do or remember, there are no rules for these terms. It's just you have to remember and memorize these terms. So you have to just say a bunch of flowers, that's it, a bouquet of flowers, that's it. And you have to remember that. A bundle of sticks, a set or bunch of keys, a set of chairs, a set of glasses, a set of clothes, or a set of guitar strings. So as I just told you this, I already gave you this piece of advice. So you see, we say a piece of advice. So an important piece of advice: whenever you learn a new noun, please do check whether that noun is countable or uncountable. So if you have that information, it will make it easy for you to use that noun correctly. Okay, moving on now, we discuss some nouns which are the same in their singular and plural forms, like where the plural and the singular form are the same. So these nouns are aircraft, hovercraft, spacecraft. So aircraft in the singular form and in the plural form are the same. And the same applies to other these vehicle nouns. So here in these nouns, the singular and the plural form are the same. The plural of deer is deer. The plural of fish is fish. The plural of sheep is sheep. So I saw a sheep in the field, and there are 3 sheep in the field. Buffalo is also buffalo. 1 buffalo, 2 buffalo. But you could also say buffaloes. Moose, plural is also moose. Series, series. Species, species. Yes, singular and plural form are the same. Some more irregular, yes, some irregular plural nouns. By irregular, we mean we don't put s at the end of that plural noun, like we say car, cars, table, tables. But we don't say focus or or we don't put s at the end. There is already s. So for focus, we say foci, or you can also say focuses. For radius, we say radii, or you can also say radiuses. Fungus, the plural is fungi, or fungi, sorry, fungi. Fungus, fungi. Nucleus, nuclei. Cactus, cacti. Alumnus, alumni. And axis is axes. Analysis, analyses. Crisis is crises. And thesis is theses. And that brings us to the end of this video. So thank you very much. I hope you like all this information, all these pieces of information. So information is uncountable, or we say pieces of information. So I hope you like all these pieces of information and you find them useful. So hope to see you soon. And before we leave, please like, share and subscribe to my channel and come back for more videos.